Everybody, welcome to episode 61 of Hump Day Hangouts. Today is the 6th of January, so this is the first Hump Day Hangouts of 2016. So happy to have you here. Going to go down the short line today. We just have three of us here today. How's it going, Hernan?
Hey Adam, hey everyone. It's good to be here. The prettiest, the best are here. The rest are somewhere else.
Bradley, how's it going?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Oh, good. Not much. I'm on the West Coast still, but wrapping things up and going to be headed back to New York shortly. So really looking forward to that.
How long have you been out on the West Coast slacking?
Oh, just in my head permanently, but not like the last 9 days. So
wow,
it's been nice. I came from out here, so it's nice to get back and see family and do some work and get out to and see the mountains and all that.
Must be nice to make so much money that you can take off for 9 days like that. What's that like?
I don't know. I still have to talk to you guys, so I don't count it as time off.
Right. But you do it like every 2 months or something, man.
Every 2 months. That's correct. Every 2 months.
And we all talk bad about you behind your back when you do it too.
Yep.
So
exactly. Well, if behind my back means group messages, then yes, that's.
And
well, let's see. We just got some quick announcements, and then we'll hop into it. For those of you who have been interested in our RYS Academy Done For You services, that's going to be available very, very soon. We've already had some people testing out the service and had good results. So we're going to be opening that up. We'll let you guys know more about that soon. And we wanted to let you know, in case you weren't aware of it already, via the emails, that Masterclass will be continuing. So if you were interested in hopping in on the Masterclass, not only is it available in the video form in the training area, but we're also going to be continuing webinars with additional training. So I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, Bradley.
Yeah, we Masterclass starts up again today. It's going to be bi-weekly webinars with the hot seats, which is where people can volunteer to come on the webinar itself, and my partners and I will basically interview you, ask you where your business currently is, where you would like it to be, and what obstacles you're facing, and then we're going to offer advice and suggestions on how to get there, how to overcome obstacles, and get to where you want to be as quickly as possible. Because the best way to learn is to learn from people that are already doing what you want to do, and you can take as many courses as you want about stuff, but the best way is to get basically mentorship, and that's what we're going to be providing with the hot seats and it's completely voluntary. If you want to come on, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. You can still learn just from observing. But then the other part of it is web audits or marketing audits, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, that's going to be similar to hot seats, where you can volunteer web properties that you would like for us to analyze and kind of deconstruct and give you our opinion on what you can do to improve the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns, whether it's SEO, web pages, landing pages, email, pay-per-click campaigns, anything that you want us to take a look at. We'd be happy to do so on the webinars, and that's going to be essentially the marketing audits. And then lastly, it's going to be extended Q&A, whereas the masterclass before was more about a lesson-based format with very little Q&A at the end, because Hump Day Hangouts has been our kind of public forum, and then Mastermind is really our mastermind. It's our community where it's more of a Q&A type forum or a discussion forum. And so Masterclass was never really intended for that. However, we're going to be doing Q&A in there now for that as well, provided that the questions are specific to training that has been covered within the Masterclass. If it goes beyond the scope of Masterclass training and starts fringing into mastermind territory, we're going to have to cut the questions off at that point and just say, hey, look, this is borderline mastermind stuff, guys. If you want to get at the nitty gritty, the juicy details like that, it's not that we're going to hold anything back, but we have to keep a certain level of separation between the two. It's only fair to our mastermind members. So that's going to start again today. It'll be bi-weekly webinars, so every 2 weeks. So it'll be an hour long. Again, it's completely voluntary. We've had a lot of really good responses with that already. Got several people in queue to be interviewed, as well as some site audits. So if you're interested in that, now's a good time to get in and check it out, even if you just came in for a month to check it out and see if it's going to help you in your business. We know it will, but you can check it out, and if it's not something for you, you can always cancel. So we do recommend that you check it out. Okay?
Cool. All right, well, that's about it. Hernan, did you have anything?
No, I think we're fine. We're ready for some questions.
Good deal. All right, let's get started.
All right, sweet. Well, let me grab the screen, and I'll jump right over to the questions. I know we got several, so grab the screen and make sure you guys are seeing everything all right. I'll lock this too, by the way.
I'm
Okay.
just looking here. It looks like Daniel's got the first question today.
Nice. I like Gary's GIF.
Amazing.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to watch this for a second. And by the way, when did GIFs start getting to be so long? Like they're getting really long
They
now.
did some better stuff. Somebody was doing stuff with the compression or something on them, so now.
Man, they're like damn near movies now, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel's the first in queue. He says, "Happy New Year, guys." All right, I read this question earlier. I'm going to read this out, and I'll try to respond as best as I can. In an earlier episode of Hump Day Hangouts, Brad discussed his method for using a 301 redirect to a client money site so that we retain the benefit of all our link building work. You mentioned buying a domain and creating a mirror image of your client site with the same post page or page post structure, etc. Question, can we redirect an exact copy of the client content as well? Yeah, because if it's a redirect, that content's not going to be indexed. Does that make sense, Daniel? If you make a copy, if you clone a client WordPress site, install it on one of your own domains, and then you set up page-by-page redirects, then your clone page, the copy of the page, isn't going to be indexed. So it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. That's all I do. I mean, in fact, a lot of the times, I won't even. I mean, it's easy to just make a clone. That's why I do that. But you don't. I mean, you don't have to. You could just set up, posts and pages that are empty, for that matter, and redirect them to on a page by page. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. For every post, there's an identical post or another post URL on your own domain that you could redirect to the clients, and it's just so that it gives you a switch. Essentially, it's what Terry Kyle calls switchbox SEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there doesn't have to be any content on those pages at all. It could be a blank site, but it just makes it easy if you just want to make a clone of the site and install it. And I like easy. I'm a big fan of easy. Question: can we create an exact copy? Oh, that's what he said. The content as well. Yes, this would be the ideal as creating a clone would be the easiest and fastest way of getting this done. And how would you recommend setting up the 301 with what we have available today? Well, if you're lazy, or if you're lazy, if you want it to be easy, just use the simple 301 redirects plugin on the clone site, the site that your own domain, because that's really simple to set up, and you can do there's actually an add-on for that, like bulk 301 redirects. So you can just upload a spreadsheet with all your redirects in them, and it will automatically redirect everything for you. However, the preferred method is htaccess. If you know how to set up redirects within your htaccess file on the clone site itself, that's the best method. Okay. But yeah, simple 301 redirects is easy, and that's if you're not comfortable doing htaccess work on your own, then I recommend just using that. Okay. Mark says, "Hey guys, Happy New Year! Wishing you a very successful 2016." Thanks, Mark. I'll +1 that. When you're ranking your own lead gen videos and using your own redirect numbers, will this not eat too much into profit? No, it's pennies, Mark. Like I use Callfire, and I just have a subscription plan with them, so I pay, I think, $99 a month or $149 a month or something. I've got kind of a grandfathered plan because I've been with them for so long, but I know they have different levels, and I think a subscription plan starts at $99 a month, and it gives you like 2,500 credits per month or something like that. You'd have to go to the callfire.com website. That's what I use, but there's multiple virtual phone number services out there, and it's a very small amount. It's just you just add that into whatever your price point is. Okay, you have to pay for calls, so if you're only charging small amounts per keyword, is it worth just using their number in the description? You can, Mark, but then you lose control, right? I mean, you can if you're not putting the phone number as a call to action in the video itself, then yes, you can just put it in the description. However, your conversion rates will go down. Your conversions will go down because having the phone number in the video is a strong call to action, and that will get higher conversion rates. So you're better off using a redirect number. Again, you can use the client's number. That's fine. Just remember that if you're putting that in the video and something happens or you lose that client, they don't want to pay you anymore, whatever, Now you've got to redo the video. If you're just putting them in the description, your conversion rates are going to go a bit down. But that way, if something happened and you lost that client or whatever, then you could just swap out the number in the description, because you can edit the description. It won't hurt anything. Okay? Just to make it easier, my goal is to only generate enough revenue to join the mastermind. Well, in that case, yeah, squeeze every penny out of it you can. Yeah, okay, he says, and then pay for crowdsearch.me and then build from there. Don't have the resources yet. Mark, the easiest way to build the resources, the revenue to do that kind of stuff is to go rank some easy to rank keywords, just do multiple sets of them, targeting suburbs for local clients, and then contacting local clients and selling them as a package deal or renting them out as a package deal for cheap. Because guys, the thing is I know a lot of people out there say that they rent videos for $500 a month, per video and that kind of stuff. That's great. If you can get that, by all means do it. But that's difficult to do, especially just starting out, because you don't have the confidence level. You're going to get rejected a lot, and you're going to spend a lot of time prospecting and trying to find a client. Whereas if you set up a bunch of easy keywords that take you little to no work to rank, that you don't have to worry about maintaining that ranking either, and you sell them as package deals for cheap, that gets revenue coming in and gets you some success, and you can build on your confidence from there. So I recommend targeting 50 keywords or 5 keywords across 10 locations, which would give you 50 videos. And if only 20% of those rank, that's 10 videos that you now have, keywords that you can go to a particular client and say, hey, listen, or a prospect, and say, listen, I got 10 videos here that are ranked #1 or the top 3 or whatever. I'll rent all 10 of these videos to you for $200 a month. And before you guys all freak out, that's only $20 a month per video. I get that. But if you're having trouble generating revenue, why not start with something easy like that? And if all you did was upload videos to your channel, and the ones that ranked with no additional work were already available to rent out, then why not just get rid of them and get them producing revenue for you? You can always go after more competitive stuff later. Just get some revenue coming into your business. Right? Keep it simple, stupid. I don't mean you, Mark. That's just the acronym, right? Keep it simple, stupid. So
got one good one too from John. He was saying you can display the phone number via annotations that way, which is another way to do it. So for a large number of videos, that may not be great, but that's just another way of getting it in there without having it kind of hard-coded into the video.
Just remember, with annotations, they don't show up on mobile, so you have to use cards for that.
Oh, good point. But you could set up one of each, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Set up a card and
just another thing you could do if you wanted to.
Yep. Yep. Totally agree. I like to keep control, because once the videos, again, I like to put them in the actual video themselves, the call to action, but that's just me. There's a million ways to skin a cat, Mark. Okay, number 2, this question is more for Hernan and Marco. Okay, I'll let Hernan answer it then. When ranking sites and videos outside the U.S., are you using proxies that are from the location you were trying to rank when building links?
Well, have in mind that Google is not as advanced in other languages, so not necessarily. I mean, I've opened YouTube channels and whatnot from US IPs and using a VPN, and they will still rank as long as the video description and the language, they have the tags set up right. But you can get away pretty much with murder, so I wouldn't bother into building links with the same IP. Of course, if you're going for local, it will help. If you're, for example, building links from a PBN, it will help to have IP links, links from IP near the from the country, for example. But most of the time you don't need that.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Last one is what books have helped you along your entrepreneurial journey? Cheers, lads. You guys are the shit. Best in the industry. +1 that. I already +1 did. I +1 it again if I could. I can tell you some of the books that have really helped me. Obviously, Work the System. I think it's Sam Carpenter. I always say John Carpenter was a movie director or some shit, but Sam Carpenter, Work the System. That really, really helped me to grow my business way beyond where I was stuck for a long time. About 1.5 years, I was stuck. So Work the System was absolutely critical to being able to grow an actual organization, build a real business instead of just another a self-employed job that I had as an SEO. Another one that I just recently read, like within the last 5 weeks maybe, was called Extreme Ownership. How they were former U.S. Navy SEALs officers that were just look it up. Extreme Ownership. It's a great book. There's a lot of obviously military anecdotes in there. So if you're not interested in that at all, then it might be kind of a boring book. But it was absolutely outstanding for me as far as like leadership and building teams and that sort of thing, which is important to growing a business. So I thought that was an excellent book. There's another one that Terry Kyle actually just did a blog post on a couple days ago that I had heard about before, but I hadn't picked it up. So I picked it up because he said it was probably the best business book he's ever read, and it's called That One Thing, or the One Thing. And I just picked it up as an audiobook. By the way, guys, if you guys aren't using Audible, do it. It's $15 a month, and you get 1 credit per month to download an audiobook and you can download it right to your phone and listen to it in the car, listen to it at the gym. If you guys don't go to the gym yet, it's a good reason to is to download Audible and then get a book a month and just go to the gym and listen to the book while you're on a treadmill or something like that, an exercise bike. It's a great way to get some of these books without having to read. Because I honestly buy books all the time and I don't get a chance to read them, but I'll listen to the books in the car or while I'm at the gym or something like that, and it really it helps. It's like a university on wheels or a university on a treadmill, right?
And you also have, I think that you also have one free book,
Yeah, you get when you first sign up, right, and then you get one credit per month to download any book you want per month for $15 a month. And so, and that's a good goal, to go through 1 book per month.
Yep.
So, and so like I said, the one thing, which is I can't remember I just downloaded it yesterday and started listening to it today, in fact, at the gym, and I listened to an hour of it, and it's really good too, guys. We had a question from Monique, I guess, or Monica. Sorry if I'm ruined your name. Monique, a couple weeks ago, about like what is one of the things that we suggest as being our top advice to anybody trying to create a business, and I said to focus on one thing. Yep. And master that before trying to do other things, because it's, guys, I know we're in this industry, right? We all know we get hit with shiny objects and distractions all day long. I know your email inboxes are just like mine, but you need to cut all that shit out and focus on one thing until you get good at it and you master it and you're generating, getting results from it. Then you can start to focus on something else. Mm-hmm. But that's what the entire book is. That one thing is all about. Is that, and it truly is. Like, I know anybody that was in the mastermind. I was doing a case study on the first affiliate case study I did for that, which was growth.training, which I subsequently have not done anything with because my traffic source dried up. I got in trouble with Google AdWords over that. But anyways, there was a book on there by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog, and it was all about prioritizing tasks, like a to-do list, essentially. And it was about prioritizing what needs to be done and always taking action on the most important thing that's going to have the most significance on your business or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish first. And the one thing, the book that I'm talking about now, is essentially takes that even a step further than Eat That Frog. So I highly recommend that book as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one thing is from Gary Keller and Jay Papasan.
Yeah,
they were interviewed by Mike Dillard as well, the self-made man, recently, and yeah, they were talking highly about that book. I had 2 books. If I had to suggest, one is The Millionaire Fastlane from MJ DeMarco, which is a really, really good book. I mean, it's all about mindset and business developing and systems. And the other one, it's a great book, is the 10X Rule.
Yeah.
And the 10X Rule in the audiobook, it's actually recorded by Grant Cardone. So you can actually hear Grant Cardone barking at your ear. It's amazing. It's amazing. So the 10X Rule, it's a great book, and also The Millionaire Fastlane.
Totally agree. The 10X Rule, that's on my top 10 for sure. Yep. And like Hernan said, I got the audiobook for that one too. I never actually bought the book, but I got the audiobook, and I've listened to that at least 6 times. Yeah. From front to back, beginning to end. And Hernan's totally right. Grant Cardone, he'll polarize you. you either love him or you hate him.
Yeah.
He's real in your face. He'll kick your ass, like literally. He'll kick your ass and tell you stop being a pussy. Like, you know, just do it. Just do it 10 times better than everybody else. Put in 10 times more effort. You'll get 10 times the results. And if that kind of an attitude, like, you know, that kind of delivery motivates you, then you'll really get a lot out of that as well. And that's, you know, you can download the MP3 for like under $20. So,
yep,
highly recommend it. Okay, Sky says, I picked up the Twitter SEO Academy and found it useful. A very good course and highly recommend it. Thanks, Sky. I do have a couple of questions. Is there an appropriate place where I can ask? Any tips on finding a profitable niche in 2016? Okay, so that's 2 questions. Twitter SEO Academy questions. I suppose you could ask them in here. We don't have a forum for that. RYS Academy is really where that would be, either that or inside of the mastermind. But I know Marco's not here, so where would he ask questions?
Yeah, you could ask him here, Sky. I mean, it's not a course that was designed to actually have, you know, a community behind it. But that's something that we could revise. I mean, we could talk to Marco when he's back, and we can put something together. In the meantime, you can ask them here.
That's what I would say, Sky, is just post your question in here. If it's a bit too proprietary of an answer, you know, a response from us, then we'll have to address it in some other way. But it'd be worth a shot anyways on your part to post it here. Okay, any tips on finding a profitable niche in 2016? Well, my first and foremost response would be to find something that you're interested in. Make sure that there's an interest and traffic there. I mean, the beautiful thing about the internet, guys, is like no matter what your passion or obsession is, there's a community for it. You know, whatever your fetish is, there's a community for it.
Yeah.
And there's a way to monetize it. And so my point is instead of looking, I mean, look, I know there's a lot of niche marketers that all they do, their interest is in making money. So they become interested in particular niches because of the money potential. And that's you know, you don't want to do something, pick a niche and try to market in it if there is no money, if there's no buyers. But for the most part, I would suggest that you find something that you truly are interested in, because it's going to make the work to get profitable in that industry a hell of a lot easier if you're truly interested in it. And that's something that I wish I would have done when I first got started, because I did a lot of work in a lot of niches I could care less about, and it really wasn't fun. It was too much like work.
Yeah, yeah, and you can only rely so much on money, you know, you will get burnt out fairly easily if you're going after money. So pick a niche, like Bradley was saying, that you're interested into, and then go ahead and look for forums and communities. You know, there are forums for anything that you can imagine, and see what people are looking into those forums. You know,
Yep.
See their current questions, the recurring, you know, needs that those people have. That will give you a good starting point to actually, you know, serve those needs, develop a product, and start building an email list or start building a following.
Yep.
But, you know, when you have to work 10, 12, 15 hours a day, it's really hard to do it if you're not motivated what you're doing it. So, I mean, that would be my advice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to create your own product. That you're going to make the most money that way, but you know, there's probably a product out there that will meet those needs that people are just unaware of. So you can you can start off as an affiliate and do that sort of, you know, or a reseller or whatever, and make money that way if you're not comfortable making your own products. But you certainly will make more money if you can create your own products as well. So. Okay, Ed says, hi guys, I ordered another Tier 2 network. Okay, great. Once I start using it for video syndication, I want to build some second-tier links to my newly embedded posts on all 3 Tier 1 blogs. Okay, should I gather all of the second-tier blog post URLs and also build links individually to those? Trying to find an efficient yet effective way to start juicing up my network and initial embeds and posts. You can, Ed. We talked about this last week with for somebody else's question. They asked specifically about that. Look, if you have the time in the resources to extract individual post URLs to build links to those individually, yes, it will improve your results, specifically for the videos that are embedded on those posts. But you kind of said you were looking for an efficient yet effective way, and the most efficient way is to just build links to the homepage URLs of those network properties, because that way you can just set up a campaign, a link building campaign, and let it run to the home page, and you don't have to worry about every time you make a new post going and extracting all the post URLs. That's what I do. I do not take the time to go through and collect all the post URLs, period. It's just too much effort, too much time. It's not efficient at all. Okay, it is more effective, no question. But if you're looking for efficiency, just build to the home pages. That's all you'll need. Okay. Last week, Bradley and Adam recommend using IFTTT WordPress like recipe for getting my older existing videos embedded on my new IFTTT network. I understand the concept, but many of the videos I want to do this have already been liked. When I originally uploaded them from the same channel, I would need to create a new like to trigger the new network embeds. Is there a way to get around this problem? Well, Ed, I think you're misunderstanding the specific steps to make it happen. When you upload a video to your channel, let's say there's two channels, channel A and channel B. Channel A was your existing channel that you uploaded the videos to. Then you liked them once you uploaded them. That's fine. What I'm talking about is using channel B, that is your new channel that has the IFTTT networks around them, being logged in as channel B, then going over to the videos on channel A and liking them as channel B. That's going to trigger them to syndicate across your channel B networks. Does that make sense? You don't like them from channel A because channel A isn't connected to an IFTTT network. You like them from channel B, and that's going to trigger the like recipes to post those and syndicate those same videos to your channel B networks. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Can I attach multiple YouTube channels to one video syndication network? Yes, you can. You have to have multiple IFTTT accounts, but you can. Okay? So let's say now you want to connect channel A to your channel B network as well. That's fine. You just have to set up a second IFTTT account and then connect channel A as your YouTube channel in IFTTT, and then connect the all the IFTTT properties from the channel B properties to your channel A IFTTT network. If that wasn't confusing, if you guys don't have a headache yet, I can keep going. So,
yeah.
But hopefully that makes sense, Ed. But yes, you can attach multiple YouTube channels to one network if you wanted. I don't recommend it. I'd recommend having separate networks for each, but you can. You just have to have a separate IFTTT network per channel that you want to connect.
Yeah, that's a short answer. You just have to, since you're logging into the YouTube channel, that's why you can only do it one per account, and then you can point it wherever the heck you want to do.
So it's a separate IFTTT account, not network. It's a separate IFTTT account per channel, per YouTube channel. Okay. If a website has an RSS feed on it, does it mean that it's legal to take that feed and populate or splice, mix, whatever, with the content? Because I'm doing legal niche stuff for attorneys and need to be careful. Yeah, it's legal, but I would, as long as you provide an attribution link, you know, that's all. As long as you're citing the source, which is it's critical, and that's in part, you know, that's why we say that all the time. If you don't want to scrape somebody's RSS feed and then repost their content with no attribution link. In fact, you can get in trouble for that. Copyright infringement, DMC Act violations, DMCA Act violations, you know, whatever. So make sure there's an attribution link. If there's no attribution link already coded in the RSS feed, you can code it in yourself into the IFTTT recipe. Simple to do. Thanks, guys. P.S. Finally, I get the RSS feed strategy in Advanced RSS Academy versus the related content feed strategy, and now understand the differences. Very good. Next, Chick says, Happy 2016. I notice you guys are now taking Hump Day Hangout questions and creating not only video but also transcribing them. Are you finding that curating your own content plus the transcription is giving you better search results to your posts? I haven't been tracking search results, Chick, but I can tell you our analytics, our traffic has gone way up since we started doing that. We hired I'm sorry?
I was going to say, well, yeah, and there's also a bonus, too, and we're kind of waiting to dig into this because we're only about 2 months into it. But part of it is that it gives it a more targeted, instead of, you know, it's all, say, SEO-related questions if we do a whole Hump Day Hangout, but you might have questions across all sorts of topics within that. So it kind of helps from the user perspective to then take each question and make that its own post or video so that it's easier on the viewer to find exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah, and I know our traffic stats have gone way up. And again, it's only been a couple months, but we hired a content manager, and that's her full-time job, is just to edit the Hump Day Hangout videos and create individual blog posts, and she's doing an amazing job. So really pleased with her work. Also, do you have a plugin recommendation to help generate LSI suggestions based on focus keyword for either a page or a post? I was looking at Daniel Tan's SEO presser. Don't use that. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on Daniel Tan, but that thing is a resource hog. It always has been. I just use for LSI keywords. I just use Power Suggest Pro, guys. I mean, honestly, that's all I'll do. In fact, there's that one, and then there's Rank Spy. Rank Spy will give you some good stuff too. But there's several other free versions that can do it. That can give you some ideas. For example, Uber Suggest. There's let's see.
Keyword Sheeter.
Keyword Shitter. That's right. There's that one. There's.
I think Hernan just likes saying that one.
I think he does too.
I do.
Thesaurus.com. There's ThinkMap Visual Thesaurus. I mean, again, it's like Oodle Suggest. Oodle Suggest is another one. Soolv, like this is another one. SOOVLE. So like that's all I do. That's pretty much the best answer I can give you. Is I just use the suggest terms now because they work. They're easier to rank usually. They provide traffic. They're long tail in nature. Okay. Also, by the way, just so you know, using Google AdWords keyword tool or the keyword planner is, again, that's a pay-per-click tool. However, I found that looking at the keyword, the ad groups, you know how when you enter a keyword into the keyword planner, you can go to keyword ideas or you can go to ad group ideas. And ad group ideas oftentimes will group keywords that work well for like silos and for related keywords, LSI keywords. If you look at ad group ideas, a lot of the times you'll find keywords in there that you would have probably otherwise missed. So, and yeah, again, I can't recommend SEO Presser. I mean, I'm not picking on the guy. It's just I don't think the plug. It's a resource hog, and again, I don't like any SEO plugins telling me how to optimize an on page because 90% of the time they're wrong, and you'll over optimize the page if you do it. So. Kendrick says at some point you guys mentioned offering done-for-you curated posts in SerpSpace, which would be awesome. Just wondering if he has a guesstimate. No, we don't have any idea, Kendrick, when that's going to happen because we're working on Video Powerhouse at the moment and really trying hard to get the press releases available inside of there, the press release service. That's what we're pushing on right now, and then I think citations is coming too. But
thanks for the reminder because we did talk about that, and this may. It depends how things go. We'll be in touch. We'll keep. It's obviously no date on that, but
yeah, we'll make an announcement when we have an estimated time. Kendrick will make an announcement about it. You'll know about it. So, Earl says, does having all our persona accounts in one Google Drive account represent a footprint that Google can see and act on? This is the tinfoil hat question. Earl, I don't sweat it. I've got literally thousands of accounts. In my Drive account, and I don't sweat it. I think Google's got bigger fish to fry. If you're worried about it, then spread them out across multiple accounts, or keep them in Microsoft Cloud account instead, or Dropbox, or Copy.com, or any number of those other cloud accounts. If that's a problem, I honestly don't sweat it at all. I know a lot of people say all the time, "Well, is it silly to keep all your?" Well, look, if you're worried about it, don't do it. I'm just telling you personally, I don't care about it. I'm not in the whole conspiracy theory that Google's watching all of us type thing. Ryan says, hey Bradley, I'm going to start setting up IFTTT properties for my PBNs, and I was wondering if it's safe for the PBNs to syndicate full posts as long as you are careful with your money site anchor text. Yeah, sure it is, Ryan. If you know what you're doing, there's no problem with that. Just be careful, and that's it. Just be careful. I'm more concerned with if it's safe for the money site to be linked to from multiple PBN IFTTT networks. Yeah, just again, be real careful with your anchor text. I would use more naked URLs or brand terms than anything. That's what I would do. So you can use keywords. I just don't use exact match for that. I would only use very, very broad keywords if you're going to do that. Or another good way, remember, another great way is to get a keyword in close proximity to the link. So in other words, if you have a keyword and then a raw URL, a naked URL as the link, but you have the keyword in a phrase or a sentence either prior to the link or immediately following the link, then you're going to pass keyword relevancy to that link just by how close in proximity the keyword is to the actual naked URL. Okay, and that absolutely works. So you can do full posts. That's fine if you know what you're doing. Just be aware of your anchor text ratios before you do it. Is my point. So. All right, James says, Happy New Year, guys. I understand you sometimes have to hide your identity from Google sometimes, but what about YouTube channels? Would it be okay to have as many channels as you like in your own name and in different niches? Yeah, James, it is okay. I still prefer, though, to create a separate Google account for each YouTube channel, and so that the YouTube channel is owned by a separate Google profile, and then I just add myself as a manager. Does that make sense? And we've covered this multiple times. I'm pretty sure there's a knowledge base post in our support.semanticmastery.com about how to add a Google page, how to add yourself as a manager to Google pages, which is also YouTube channels. And that's what I do. So I create new channels under a persona account, and then I just add me, Bradley Benner, as a page manager, which also means a YouTube channel manager. That way I can still access them from my main account and you know, access them and upload videos and all that kind of stuff. But I still prefer to have them owned, air quotes, owned by another Google profile. Okay, and that's just to keep it safe, guys. What happens, I mean, God forbid I got my account shut down, Bradley Benner, I'd still have all my YouTube channels because they're owned by other accounts. That it's a matter of mitigating risk, limiting risk. That's all. If you're comfortable putting all your eggs in one basket, that's fine. But just know that if Google were to, for whatever reason, the wrath of Google was to come down on James McCallum, you'd end up losing all your work. And so I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay. Wayne says, I need clarification on setting up my own network for my company. Do I set up all my accounts branded around my name or my company name? My guess is that I could do one network branded, excuse me, around me personally and one branded just for my company, or is that overkill? Just set it up for your company name, Wayne. A branded network is nothing other than using your company logo as the profile image and then having social graphics made that you can use as your branding graphics for all of your other network, all your network properties. That's it. Use your company name as the username. So it would be yourcompany.blogspot.com, yourcompany.tumblr.com. Use your logo, company logo, as the profile image for all those properties, and then have some social graphics made with a call to action, whatever, that you can use for the graphics, so that it's a consistent theme across all of them. But that's all you got to do. I would not put two networks, one personal and one branded, around the same website. You can do it for a YouTube channel, but I wouldn't do it around a website. If you're using the networks for blog syndication, then just go with branded only. Okay? So, for example, with Twitter, would I use my personal Twitter account or a business name Twitter account? I would use a business name for branding purposes. Again, for branding purposes, you want to try to use your company brand. Okay, my personal YouTube channel, my business branded YouTube channel, again, business channel. Set it up with a brand. All right, guys, I just teach how to do it in the course with how to set it up with profiles, because a brand, branded channels, it's the same concept. There's absolutely no difference, except that you use the brand name instead of a profile name or a persona name, and you use the company logo as a profile image. You put a company bio instead of a personal bio. That's it. It's the exact same concept. Okay, and the thing is once you start building tiered networks, or you're doing a lot of this work, especially for YouTube stuff, you're going to be building more persona-based networks than you are branded networks. And so that's why I taught it that way. George says, hey guys, do you ever use link shorteners to link from your PBNs? I was thinking you might add some diversity to reduce the footprint when using the same PBN for multiple money sites. Yeah, you can, George. Just don't, be careful using the Google shortener. Just be careful with that. You can. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything to use variety in your links too. I typically don't sweat it, but if you've got that ability and you want to take some time doing that, it's not going to hurt anything. Kevin says, I'm curious if it's okay to link our IFTTT properties from high PA expired Twitter accounts. Would we place 1 to 2 links in the bio plus website part of the Twitter account? What kind of description would you need to be added to the bio also? Thanks, guys. Yeah, I would only put 1 link in it, though, Kevin. because just looks spammy in Twitter if you've got more than one link in your bio section of the account. So I would just put the one link, and typically I just use the name of the. You can put hashtags and stuff in there though. That's going to give it relevancy, as we teach in the Twitter SEO Academy. But yeah, I mean, if you've got high page authority expired Twitter accounts, if you have access to those, then yeah, use them. Why not? Remember, you know, Twitter is certainly helpful, guys, with SEO because of the whole bromance thing. So, as far as the description, again, you know, add a keyword in there or so, but use hashtags when you use the keywords. Don't stuff it. Try to make it natural, and then you can put a link to the website. Okay. Damon, happy 2016, guys. Have you seen it take longer to get your videos on page one? It depends, Damon. It's kind of random in my experience. It's kind of random. Sometimes videos take longer than I expect them to. Sometimes they don't. It's kind of hit or miss. It's just a crapshoot, so to speak. Been using scheduled placements, FCS, crowdsearch for a few competitive local terms, and teetering on page 2. I also have a YouTube live video that was streamed immediately that is also teasing me at the top of page 2. Thinking about using a few high DA domains I own to 301 to the IFTTT network, tier 1. The videos are linked to. What suggestions do you all have? Yeah, you can do that. A lot of the times with videos that I find difficult to rank, social embeds are really good. I've talked about that many times. Twitter retweets are good. Pinterest repins, Tumblr reblogs. You can find gigs for that kind of stuff, but social embeds are really good for that. Link building, link building isn't my preferred method of ranking videos anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still do it. If you have some domains that are kind of you're not really using and you want to 301 them to some posts that they're embedded on, that's fine. And then you could actually build some spam link or some spam campaigns to the 301 domain. That will help. But that's not. The other thing I do is the crowd search referral traffic to the videos. That works well. But you got to use Google short links now for that to work, because I found that the referral traffic views are not registering on YouTube. I'm not sure why that is. But I really don't care about the view count. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is for Google to recognize that the video is getting traffic from Twitter or from Tumblr or from WordPress or Blogger or wherever. Just some sort of social network property, preferably a social data hub partner property, right? And so what I like to do is set up, and I did a whole blog post on it. It's on our blog if you want to look it up, or Adam, if you can grab the link, if possible. It's the referral traffic using crowd search. But if you do that, then you can set up, if you use a Google short link. Now remember what you're doing with the Google short link. So I wouldn't use your main account with the Google short link. I would use one of your persona accounts to set up that. But that's going to inject Google Analytics into that traffic stream. And essentially that's going to allow Google to see traffic coming from Twitter or Tumblr or whatever clicking onto that video. And even though the view won't register on the video, who cares? As long as Google's seeing that it's getting traffic from these social sources. And that I found works really, really well. Okay. One other thing is, if you're going to be using some links, I know SAPE links still work like a charm, especially even for videos.
Yeah, they do.
SAPE links work like a charm, and they're dirt cheap. One other thing you can do besides the SAPE links, and if you have access to a domain crawler, now I haven't tested this so much for videos. I've been doing a lot of testing recently for websites, and it's been working really well. So for videos, I can't say that this works for sure, but I can't imagine why I wouldn't. But if you have access to a domain crawler and you can find niche-related domains that have good metrics and redirect them to the video, that should help as well. Okay, I haven't tested that, so I can't swear to that, but for websites, it's working like a charm. So I can only assume it works for videos as well. All right. What's a good way to mash RSS feeds and distribute through directories? What I know, Hernan, you've got one you've been using recently, and I've got one too. Let's see.
I'm also gonna pop in the blog post we got on. It's a few months old, but it's got probably. I'm looking at it right now.
This is one.
We got like 8 alternatives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't, that's fine because I think all of these are listed in there. Here's one of them: createfeed.5filters.org.
hmm I've been
Um,
using Team Feeder
Tim
from
Feeder.
Mailchimp. Yeah, and feed.informer.com.
Yeah,
Feed.informer.com. That's a good one too.
and then there's another one that's Feed Mixer or something like that.
Yeah.
I've got several of them. Feed Rinse is a filter very similar to. Ooh, look at that! They're coming out with a version 2.0. This was a feed filter that you could use if you've got like an overactive feed that's kind of a broad type of feed, and you want to filter out and only allow certain posts to pass that have tags or keywords specific. That's a good way. This is a good thing for that. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them that you can use. If Adam can find that blog post, Damon, just
Yeah, I
check it
already
out.
posted it on there.
There you go. That should help you. Okay, we are rolling right along. Good, because we only got about 15 minutes. John says, did I skip anybody?
Yeah, that was just a response. Let's see.
Okay. YouTube and Google on local lead gen now.
Here we go, Brad. I said, hey guys, I asked for past Hangout, time ran out. He was asking about delay starting an IFTTT sequence. And Brad, first off, I will say, please Google, search for Semantic Mastery Podcast. Me and Hernan actually talked about this in last week's podcast.
Where is this question? I'm not seeing it.
Scroll up a little bit. It's Brad Averhill. There you go. It's towards the bottom.
Here, okay.
Yep. So Bradley, I don't, unless you know of some way to do this, but we were talking about it, and directly using IFTTT and RSS, there's no way to delay this, right?
As far as I know, no.
Yeah, and I mean there may be some like multiply connected way you could do this, but right off the bat, we were thinking that there's probably a better way to do it without.
If it's blog syndication, you can schedule the post to be published. You can schedule the publishing date on the post, and it won't syndicate until it actually publishes. But it's going to publish within. IFTTT says that they check your feed. If you're using an RSS trigger, it checks. It says every 15 minutes. So there's pretty much the only way to delay it would be to delay the actual publishing of the post.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and the only other thing I could think of was publishing to another platform that uses a delay that then picks up from, but that's starting to get kind of turning into a labyrinth, and that doesn't sound fun. So
yeah. Let's see. I saw Matthew Clark. Matthew, just go to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and Gary gave him a short link for that.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody watching, if you're looking for past episodes of Hump Day Hangouts, just check us out on YouTube. And on the side of every event, there's a link to our channel. So you can find it there, and we put all of the Hump Day Hangouts in a playlist, so you can just check them all out.
Yeah, there's a playlist. That's right. You just check out our playlist from our channel, and there's all of them, all 60. Well, one of them now, because of today. There's all 61 of them there, and all of them are time-stamped. Plus, you can go to our blog. So you can go to youtube.com/semantic mastery. You can find it there. Or you can go to semanticmastery.com/blog. And you can find all of our Hangouts there, as well as now the Hangouts being chopped up into small, individual question posts. So you can find stuff there. Just use the search box. I think we have a search box on it. By the way, our new website's going to be done possibly by next week. Is that right, Hernan?
Yeah, and we should get some. Well, the mockups are ready. The developer is coding it for WordPress, so we should have something between tomorrow and Friday, and between implementation and everything, probably next week. So
yep. Yeah, so our new design is looking pretty sharp, I can tell you that. So.
Yep.
Sandy, she's back from France. Haven't seen her in a while. She's been lurking recently. It's good to have you back, Sandra. I see she's also in one of the other groups recently asking questions too. So good to see her back. Is there anything else, guys, or are we done?
No, we got one more up here. Whoops, just had an alert pop up. Let me get back here. It says, let's see. Joe was asking about keyword tools. We can get those on here, but we're not going to type them out, but you can just go back and listen real quick. They're exactly what they sound like. So Gary posted a question from Earl asking, do you have your curator switch proxies, or does it not matter when they are working on different clients' networks?
Do you have your curators switch proxies? Is it when they're working on different clients' networks? My curators? I'm not sure what you mean. When my curators don't work on client networks, curators only post blog posts. So I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe your terminology is wrong, Earl.
Cool.
Our network builders, they typically will just build the networks when they use U.S. proxies because they're all based in the Philippines. But they use U.S. proxies to build the networks. Then they get delivered to the client, or if it's for my clients, they get delivered to me, and then I attach them to the client sites or do whatever else that I need. And I just log in through my own IP because I bind those, excuse me, I bind those networks to my IP right after I get them, which is what we suggest you do if you purchase networks from us, because they're going to be built through an a US IP, and then we're going to deliver them to you, and we highly recommend that within 72 hours you log in through your own IP and it will bind to your account. It has never caused us a problem with footprint issues yet to this point. It may at some point in the future, but up until now it has not. So that's what we do, and because otherwise if you don't log in right away and too much time lapses, and I don't know what the threshold is, but we know that you can avoid this problem if you do it within 72 hours of receiving your networks. But if you don't, then you wait too long, and then you try to log in, it's going to trigger a re-verification, and that's a pain in the ass. We do, however, provide the phone number that was used to create the accounts in the spreadsheets, so that in case it triggers a re-verification, you can, most of the time, about 90% of the time, re-verify the account without having to receive a text message or whatever, because it's just asking for the number that was used to create the account, not actually to send a verification text, if that makes sense. But sometimes even that doesn't work. And you know, we've had people come back to us 3 months after they received their networks and say, I got locked out. Can you guys unlock the account? Well, we can't swear that we can. We may try it, but we can't promise you that, you know, if that happens 3 months later, then that's just luck of the draw, and there's probably a reason why it happened, but it's not something that we can fix. We will attempt to, but if we can't fix it, we just can't fix it. Okay. As far as curators, my curators, if they're posting, I've got two types of curators. I have PBN curators who curate blog posts on private blog network sites, which they just log directly into the WordPress sites. And then my other curators are curators that curate for money sites, for like clients, for example. And they log directly into the clients' sites and create the posts. And there's no need for IP proxies for that, because they're logging into WordPress sites that, you know, are self-hosted WordPress sites. So there's no need for proxies. Okay. Sandy says lurking. John, we got just a couple minutes, so hopefully we can get through these last couple questions. John says, I have a dentist site I've worked on for years, and we have the dentist on page 1 for Invisalign. Ooh, that's great. A broad keyword too, teeth whitening, and some other keywords. But for the term dentist in his own town, we are on page 5 without being able to move it up. Not sure where to go with this. Well, if it's in his own town, then just work on the maps, John. Like, I honestly, for most local clients, I don't care about organic anymore. I only care about organic if they're covering a broad area. I focus solely on maps for local clients where they service clients within their specific city. I try to rank maps because the conversion rates are so much higher than organic, at least in my experience with, I don't know about dentists, I've never ever done a single SEO job for a dentist. But for contractors and stuff like service-based companies or businesses, the maps is where most of the calls come from. About an 80-20, like the Pareto principle applies. 80% of my results come from being in the maps, and only about 20% of the results come from organic. So I focus solely on maps. So if your organic listing is 5 pages back, I would focus on trying, and it's in the same town, I would focus on getting the maps to rank, and then go back. And John, if you're still in the mastermind, which I believe you are, wait till tomorrow during the mastermind webinar. We're having a special guest on, and I'm really impressed with the results I've been getting recently from this method that I've been using, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow, about finding niche-related expired domains that have awesome trust flow, that aren't spammed, they're 100% topically relevant, and getting them for the cost of renewal or registration, and then using those to very strategically build links to your money sites, and it's crushing it. So Sky says, how is authority passed to a website via a Twitter account? Is the profile link doing this, or should you be posting links to the Twitter account? Well, you can do both, but you will siphon some authority directly from Twitter, especially if it's an account that has, like, that's a real account. In other words, it's got activity on it and that sort of thing. If it's a spam account, you're going to get very little authority from it. But if it's a real account with activity, social activity, it's going to pass authority because Google and Twitter are very closely related. They love each other. So, Google knows if it's a spam account or not. So if you have a true Twitter account, you can pass massive authority from it. And through the profile link, yes, but also through tweet links and stuff like that. Okay. Let's see, I have a Twitter account that was created years ago, but no metrics are found in Majestic. Any way to determine the metrics of the Twitter account? Yeah, probably if there's no metrics in Majestic, I've found Twitter accounts, they bounce around a lot. Sometimes you'll have really, really high metrics. If Gary's on, Gary could talk about that. Gary's our Twitter scientist, but Dr. Gary. But yeah, I mean, sometimes they'll have like really high metrics, and then the next day you'll look and it'll show 0 metrics. You could build links to it. That's going to help, but it's not really the links that I'm worried about as much as the activity. And so, that's what you're trying to siphon from Twitter, in my opinion, is the social authority, not necessarily the link metrics. Do you agree, Hernan?
Yeah, Twitter is all about relevancy. That's why we are heavily relying on hashtags and interaction and those kind of things. But yeah, it's all about the relevance of the profile. It's not. It's nearly never about the actual links that the account has, but mostly about the age and their relevancy.
Yeah. Yeah, and the activity too. That's that's the social activity is what's going to really pass authority. So. Okay, John says yes, his focus is maps. John, the other thing is RYS Academy. I mean, I did a case study on that specifically with a site that I had problems with, a local site. It's probably not nearly as competitive as what you were talking about, but I did a whole case study in RYS Academy about that using RYS methods, and was able to rank to #1 in maps now. And literally all I used was RYS methods to get it to rank, and I got it to rank #1 in maps. So I don't know if you have that or not, but it's really powerful. So, okay, guys. Well, everybody, thanks for being here. We will see Mastermind members here in just a moment, and this is going to be exciting. The first Mastermind under the new format.
Masterclass.
Oh, excuse me, Masterclass. Yeah, thank you.
And Mastermind's going to be. I'm looking forward to both. Well, no, I'm not, because I'm missing the Masterclass. So I'm looking forward to you guys being there, but I'm looking forward to joining back up with you guys tomorrow for Mastermind. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got a really good one scheduled for tomorrow. So, okay, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Hernan.
Awesome.
Thanks,
have a good
guys.
one. Ready?
Bye.
Bye-bye.